It's all in your mind. What? All in my mind? Does that mean that all that I see, all that I hear from out there, that's really not out there? Am I saying that this is all a hallucination? That's exactly what I'm saying. It's all within the mind, and we don't know it. Join us and see if we can fully understand the mind by asking who or what the mind is. This is Who Am I?
Who am I?
Who am I?
Who? Our purpose is to awaken.
Who am I?
To awaken to absolute truth.
Am I?
Who am I?
Who?
Who?
Our purpose is to awaken to absolute truth.
Absolute.
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 Absolute truth.
Our purpose is to awaken. Are they one and the same? Absolute truth. That's our purpose.
Who am I?
All right. Well, you just heard, I just said, are you hallucinating? Is your mind really telling you the truth? What we have been doing and what I want to do for the next few shows is focus on one topic, and that topic is the mind, education, and God. Okay? Yeah, now you go, huh? Those three? Yeah, okay. So, obviously I value education. Okay, I have an earned PhD and I taught for 28 years at Morehouse, and Joe and I grew up right in the middle of a college campus, right in between Walkerwood Hall, remember, and the Student Union building, So our parents were educators, and so it's not that I'm trying to, in any kind of way, put down anybody's profession, okay? But we have no sacred cows here, okay? Everything's up for examination, not for disrespect, but just to see what's underneath it. Is it standing on truth or is it standing on a lie? Okay? And education, I said, should be about finding out what is truth. Okay? I went to a liberal arts college. I went to Morehouse, all right? And I remember Dr. Mays would tell us on every Tuesday morning, he would come and talk to us, and he would say, go for truth. All right? He was a Baptist preacher. Okay? So we are saying, is education about truth? The mind basically says, look, I can tell you what's true. Psst, hey, I'll tell you what's true. Okay? And the mind will say, this is true. Okay? Here's a religion. This is true. Or here's a field of study called psychology. This is true. Or today is that we're taping on the day of the solar eclipse. Okay, and science will tell you that, the moon is coming in between the earth and the sun, and that, all kinds of things will happen. Yeah, Bahia.
Yeah, in your Kickstarter questions, you have question number 1. Do you think Jesus knew about the structure and the functioning of the mind? If so, why didn't he teach us about the mind and its relationship to God? I know that you've taught me some things about the mind. And when I was looking at this question, what came up in terms of what I understand is the mind comes out of fear and the belief of being separated from God.
Right. The human mind, yeah.
Yeah, the human mind. So what is its structure and its functioning?
Well, the function of the mind, the human mind, is to lie. Okay? It's that simple, all right? Your mind, Jesus called it a liar and the father of lies, all right? Why would we say that? Because this is the only thing that's true. This, all right? And if it's not this, then it's a lie, all right? This is true. All is. All is true. All is, okay? You can call it God if you want to. All right. But as Archibald keeps telling us, he don't use the word God, okay, because so much is attached to it, okay. But let's call it all. Why is it that we're not taught that God is infinite? And this is what the mind has to say, that God is not infinite. Every religion, I don't care whether you're a Christian, Jewish, Muslim, or whatever, okay? They were all saying, yeah, well, God is omnipresent. Omni meaning all, that he's everywhere present. But then they were saying that there's something called a devil or hell where God isn't, or a Bahia, or an island where God isn't. That's what I mean by when I say, the human mind says there's all and something else. That's impossible. And that's why the human mind's a lie.
On this level of God and goddesses, I'm working on a doctoral, and this whole concept or construct of God, I posed the question to myself as I studied the ancient societies, and it struck me. Did God create man, or did man create God?
Okay. Mark Twain had a similar question. Mark Twain said that God created man and man returned the favor. Okay. But the point is, God cannot create. What can the infinite create? Okay. See, in order for there to be creation, there has to be two. There has to be a creator and that which is created. If you have two, then you don't have all or infinity. That's why the Bible starts off with a lie. All right, it says, in the beginning, God created. That's a lie. How can that which is now create something that is outside of now? See, creation requires time. Like Robert and Ruth Carter created me and Joan. Your parents created you. All right? They came before you, right? And that's what we said creation is. There was something, and then that produced something else. That's two. So to say that God is a creator, which most religions say, that's just a human mind saying that.
One of my favorite people, scientists, is Neil deGrasse.
Yeah.
And he talks about the universe.
Right.
And ever unfolding, a living thing evolving.
Uh-huh.
How do you juxtapose that with mind, and does that encompass mind? Again, what is mind?
Well, I have respect for Neil deGrasse. I like to watch, the Science Channel and physicists, and he had that thing on Cosmos where he, was a student of Carl Sagan. Okay, he's a physicist. He studies physics, the physical world. All right, that which is material, like the planet Jupiter. Or right now, the moon is coming across the face of the sun. He can see it. It's available to the senses. Scientists rely upon empirical data. In other words, it has to be demonstrated and verified by the senses. Okay, the senses are based upon this. There's a seer and a seen. In other words, I can see you. There's me, the seer, and there's Terry, the seen. There's a subject and an object. That's two. Okay? How does that fit with the infinite one? The infinite one cannot know something called not itself. And that's why all areas of study, physics, biology, chemistry, psychology, theology, all the ologies, they come out of the human mind. And it's okay. Go get your PhD. I did, all right? But it's a game. I played it, okay? I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Watch the Falcons. I hope they win this year. But that's a game, all right?
Dr. Carter, the mind, as I can define it, is a substance of energy that can only operate in a human body.
You asking me if I agree with that or not?
That's what because it's limited, and it is because it doesn't have no comprehension outside of the logic and the reasoning.
See, I think Raphael has a mind, Joan has a mind, Terry has a mind, Gloria has a mind, Alan Carter has a mind, Donald Trump, That's questionable. But anyway, the point is, all humans say that the mind is encased in the body, and they usually identify it with the brain. Okay, and that is something physical. Okay, and yes, that mind is limited because it's limited by concepts, by thinking. This mind, when old Descartes said, "I think, therefore I am," he's making "I think" the creator. Okay, the "I think" is the creator of the "I am." I am is not created. I am is always, okay? But the human mind, as I was saying to Terry, has to have something called before, and then there's something called after the before, okay?
Over the years, you said this over and over and over and over again. All cannot know what is not of itself. Can you just slow yourself down a little bit and explain what you mean by that?
All. This is the most important word you could probably study, okay? If I was going to write a book, that is authoritarian, I've written a book, but it's just crap, okay? But I would just put one word, all, okay? And that's all, okay? Because there ain't nothing else but all. Now, what I mean by all is that it's total, it's complete, it's not missing anything. There's nothing outside of all. There's no before all. There's no after all. All is all. That's why, when most people define God, they will say all. They say omnipotent, all power, omnipresent, all present, omniscience, all knowing, right? Is what most people, when they will say it, define. So they use the word all, and then they deny that all is all. So by saying what all, asking and saying what all is, that includes everything, but not a thing like a material object like this or this, okay? But all ideas.
So you're saying that simultaneously, outside of time, outside of this plane, outside of space, there's just all.
Yes.
And because of the nature of it being simultaneous, no separation, no reference point, it only knows itself.
Yes, because there's nothing else but itself. Okay? And because it is now, there's no time. And so what appears, it's kind of like what was before Big Bang, Stephen Hawking and them were trying to get to. Well, it ain't no before Big Bang. Okay? That's just this. Or this. They're the same. All and now are the same. Okay? Because now is all and all is now.
In '81, I was into metaphysical, transcendental meditation because that was what was out there. And one day I meditated for like an hour and came out with something like affirmations, stream of consciousness kind of thing. And I asked, what do I call this? I said, all as one. Was I onto something? Or?
Well, who was the one that asked the question, what do I call it?
Me?
Yeah, I. Now notice that you always have, I is always the starting point. That's why the name of this program is Who Am I? Actually, I sort of modified to say who or what am I, because if you say who, that, connotes or denotes really like a person. But you woke up this morning and you go, oh, I'm in bed. Oh, I got to brush my teeth. Oh, I got to get up. All that kind of I. All right? So when you say I is the source, now what are you talking about? Because this I think calls itself I. Okay? In the Bible, when supposedly Moses ran into that burning bush, which symbolized God, it's just a story. But anyway, that, he said, identify yourself, and supposedly God said, I am that I am. I is just the awareness of its own existence. And see, Terry isn't God. Okay? No way Terry could be God. There's no way Alan or Jesus or Buddha. Okay? No way for any human to be God, because God is all. Now, is Jupiter within Terry? Of course not. Because Terry identifies as a body, just like every human does. I think I'm this body that came out of a woman I call my mother. All of us think that because that thought that says I is identified as a body mind, all right, in time and space. And that's the lie.
So right now, as I stand here and I look at you and I hear the words that you're saying, who is it that's listening to you and sees you from this vantage point?
See, if you're seeing something called not yourself, that's a human. Okay? Because as I was saying about here, that's two. Okay? There's the seer and the seen. And you're relying upon your senses. You're seeing me and you're hearing me. And you're not seeing me or hearing me. You actually are interpreting what your mind tells you that, because I speak English, maybe not good, okay? But, I speak English. I learned from Robin Ruth Carter and so forth. You speak English. We can have a communication process going on, all right? And he could hear me, which is just simply airways moving, all right, which go into his ear, then here is the eardrum, and it goes to the brain, and all that, biological stuff that goes on. But that's an interpretive process. He isn't really, you never see anybody. You see your concepts of what they are. And that's out of your past, all right? If I see Beyonce, I say that's a pretty woman, all right? But what makes her a pretty woman? What I've been taught, the education.
So then the function and the role of the mind is to just facilitate
What?
the process of the human being understanding that they are separate.
Yes. Yes, the purpose of the human
So
mind.
is that why the mind is a lie?
Yes, because it says, go on, I'll
And
cut
then
you off.
so the role of education in that process then is to make sure the mind understands what its role and its function is.
Yeah, not that it understands it, just that it perpetuates it.
Okay.
Okay? In other words, you're going to council training and you're going to Fisk and so forth. You were taught history, the Columbus Sail in 1492, and you went to Fisk and you studied sociology and all of that. That's just something somebody taught you, and they were taught by somebody else, and they were taught by somebody else. Okay? Now, is it true? That's why you always have to ask, what's the premise? Is your premise true? If you have a false premise, which is the human mind, which has to make sure that separation is real. Separation from what? Separation from the all, a God. Okay? That's why it makes up God, like a Jehovah or Allah or Zeus.
Are we going through a lot of different concepts? I'm hearing a lot of different beliefs and everything. But until we have that experience, it's all going to just be just words. I mean,
Yes, it's all BS.
yeah.
That's all I'm doing is BS.
Okay.
Okay. John can tell you that. I'm full of, well, we won't go there. But any human. Mm-hmm. Jesus was. Mm-hmm. Anytime you open your mouth, you're lying. Mm-hmm. God is just perfect, absolute silence. Who would God talk to? Who? Or what? All right? It will have to be like, if you think, whatever you think is a lie. Okay? And then you'll because you use words. And words are symbols of symbols. All right? And no symbol is true. A symbol simply says, here, it represents something else. Like a dollar bill isn't really, money. It just says, the Federal Reserve has money somewhere in Fort Knox or something, okay? But that's just a symbol, and we accept it as like it's real, but a dollar bill is just a symbol. Because it's, like your words. You're using words now. If I say God to you, you would think of maybe what your grandma, well, you didn't grow up into religious of a home, but most of us would think about what our grandmama taught us and what some preacher said and what the society says, all that kind of stuff. But that's just simply, something that comes out of your memory.
I would say that let's forget about the mind. Let's leave the mind. Let's leave the body away. We actually, to comprehend some of the things that you're talking about, you have to be in a level of over 50% of spiritual awareness. That means that is the way you can access some and relate to what you're talking about. You have to be in the level of awareness, a complete an awareness, which is very much is the no mind. It's being in the no mind at all. And from nothingness and from emptiness, then you can relate to what you're saying, because we talking without symbols. And the unseen, it is in the over 90% of the unseen is where we can actually start understanding some of the concept that you're talking about.
Well, I don't know what the percentage is, but the point though is I felt bad when the Falcons lost in the Super Bowl. Most of us did, right? I know you did, John. Okay, everybody. Atlanta was a depressed city that day afterwards. Okay, but it was a football game. It wasn't really, we put the meaning to, the Super. I remember, John, when the first Super Bowl was played, with the Green Bay Packers against Kansas City Chiefs, I think. Yeah, right. Yeah, Vince Lombardi and all of them. But it didn't have the bigness of it does now. But that's just something made up. And as long as you know it's made up, you can have fun with it. I can have fun. Hopefully the Falcons will win the Super Bowl this year. I can cheer for the Falcons, okay, and have fun. I can go and get go get your PhD, okay. Have fun and play the game of academic politics, okay, or do whatever. All right. I have a private practice and I make money. I have this TV show, and it doesn't mean anything, okay? I'm lying, all right? So, it's just a matter of you're just realizing it has no inherent meaning. My kingdom is not of this world. Glory to Terry.
I hear what you're saying. And it's easy I can sit here and relate to, okay, the Falcons lost. And they shouldn't have lost.
Boo, right.
Yeah. But it's like, okay, this marks a year of my nephew being murdered. It's a little more difficult to say, oh, that doesn't matter. It's just a game. It's just a dream. So you, Dr. Carter, how do you deal with the appearing of this life showing up?
Well, it's kind of like when people come into my office. If somebody came to my office and told me, their nephew just got killed, okay, I would be empathic, I wouldn't, say it's just a dream, that there's no such thing as death, which is the truth. There is no such thing as death. Buddha found that out, okay? But, at that level, I would talk to them on that level, okay, and, yes, I'm sorry, your son.
But how do you deal with it as you're standing there representing us? And you're just, it's like we're seeing ourselves. So I'm seeing myself in you. And what I want to hear myself saying is, how do you deal with these appearings of this life that seems to be so real?
I notice, everything comes out of my thoughts. Okay? I can think about the Falcons losing. Or, I had my roommate from my senior year at Morehouse died this past year. Okay? It looks like he did, okay? And I felt something because he was a good guy, all right? But I realized that my mind is just going to keep producing thoughts, and it's going to have some feelings behind thoughts that I think are important, like my roommate dying, okay? Or your nephew getting murdered. I assume he was a young man, okay? That, we would say his life was cut short at such an early age. And people say, isn't that sad? Yes, so
it's like watching a sad movie.
Yes, yes.
Like to know the truth from this appearing that we're all sitting here. It's like to see that that's not me.
Yes.
That's a dream that I'm having, or it's like watching a dream. This dreamer is watching a dream. And I can get all embroiled in it, or I can just notice, oh, okay, or I can even feel what's there. But it's like there's that isn't who I am. Like being able to distinguish that that separation that appears, but it isn't a separation because that you didn't draw the line, but everything above that line just is.
Yeah.
So there's no death, there's no sadness, there's no all of this that we appear to be feeling.
Yeah, and Gloria Mine will argue with that.
Right.
Okay, Gloria Mine will
But
say,
even
oh,
to
my
notice
nephew
that.
died, isn't you? I'm sad. Yeah, he was such a young man. That's, those horrible guys killed him, for probably no good reason or whatever. And Gloria Mine would say that. And then you would have all kinds of emotional reactions, like, go get the guy who killed him, and, I want them to throw him under the jail, and it's all that kind of stuff. Good story. A doggone good story. But you remember when you were in elementary school, and people would come up and say, he told a story, meaning what? They lied, okay? All stories are lies. In the beginning, God created is a story. The Bible's full of stories, and they're okay. You might be able to get something from it that might open something up for you. You go, oh, I didn't think about it that way. And that might, create something called a little opening for you. Like hopefully you're watching this show, and you might go, yeah, Dr. Carr's crazy, and he's a blasphemer, and, let me think about what they said, And I just got the signal by here that we got to wrap this up, okay? So we're out of time for this show. So what we would do, we'll put a comma here, and we will begin to, take up for here for the next show. And again, I really implore you out there, and as if you are out there separate from me, or as if the solar eclipse is separate from you, that you look at it and ask questions. And don't take the first thing your mind says, because it's going to say it's the truth. And the mind can't know truth. I don't care if you're Einstein. You can't know truth. Only truth can know truth. And that's all that there is. And that truth is, I am that I am. Thank you. The Bible says man was made in the image of God. Jesus said, I too had a power to do miracles. Even New Thought teachers say you create your own reality. So why do I think I am less than God? Well, we explore why and what you can do about it. Maybe nothing, or maybe everything.
Join Dr. Alan Carter for another exhilarating workshop entitled, Why Do I Think I'm Less Than God? Saturday, September 23rd. Visit dralancarter.com for ticket information. Spots are limited, so register today.